President Matthew Downey is running a little bit late this evening at another commitment. He will be joining us shortly if the meeting goes longer than a certain amount of time when he's not here. So anyway, we have been in executive session since 6 o'clock discussing contractual and personnel matters. And the first order of business to stand and rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Could we please go around and do introductions?
Michael Cooper.
Joanne Cunningham.
Lynn Lenhart.
Jody Monroe.
Tom Douglas.
Charmaine Widgesinger.
Diane Seaver.
Christine Beth. And Judy Kehoe.
And in case any member of the audience comes up to speak at the microphone, just to note that we are being videotaped. The first item of business is the approval of the minutes, I believe.
So moved. Second.
Okay. Okay, all in favor? Wait, no, any discussion? Sorry. That's a first and a second. Any discussion? No? All in favor? Aye. Any abstentions? Any opposed? That carries. All right, this is my first meeting here, so I've got to really keep up with everybody. The next item is the Student Senate report. Is anyone here for the Student Senate?
The students haven't started yet, so
Okay.
officially they'll be coming back at the very next meeting.
Okay, so we will move to item 4, the Superintendent's report, please.
Thank you, Dr. Widgesinger. Ladies and gentlemen of the board, obviously, this is the night before the first day for all the new kindergarten, so I'll be out, as I usually do, riding a bus for the first day. It is also my students' first year in school, and I have timed it so that I can ride a Slingerlands bus so that I don't miss out on the same opportunity, but also to meet the parents of the Slingerlands community as well with the buses. So, and then next year I know I will be following it up with Hammergrell, and then followed by Ellesmere, and then we start the whole cycle again. So we're looking forward to tomorrow. Yes, today Mr. Nolte and I had the opportunity to tour around the district to make sure we're ready to open tomorrow. I'm happy to say and thank all the custodians, the operations and maintenance staff for making a very hard summer with a construction project move along and yet get the buildings ready to open. So we're ready to be open for business tomorrow, and that's the business of education, not open for business, to go along with my opening day remarks. So I think we had a very positive opening. The heat is there, and obviously school's coming back, so we'll be ready tomorrow, and hopefully everything will go as smoothly as it has gone so far. I would like to say that tentatively, I believe with a head shake from Mr. Nolte, that our playgrounds, at least at Ellesmere and Glenmont, should be ready for some occupation tomorrow, at least by the students. We will also be arranging a ribbon cutting a little bit later for the school, and then I know there will be one for the PTAs at both of those schools, and I know Hammergrell's playground will be starting very shortly and should not take too long to add to their playground. So all of our buildings will have a playground available for them on the first day. So thank you, Mr. Mulkey. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, the first day, we're really excited to get started. We'll try to bring another report back on the 13th. It's just a reminder to the community via our public access that the board will be going on a road show each month to one of our current schools. However, during the first month of September, because open house is the very following day, trying to ask parents and communities to come out 2 nights in a row, we have asked to move Eagles. First presentation is where we'll be at the first board meeting in October, followed, I believe it's Ellesmere as the second, and then we'll be on the cycle for the second meeting of the month. We'll be at each of our elementaries, and then we'll do budget, and then at the end of the year, we will come back to the high school in April, and in May, we'll do the middle school, so we'll hit all of our buildings. So if that's okay with the board, we'll put that out and publicize that tomorrow, and On the Road with the Board of Education, I think is what we'll title it.
I don't think we have to travel far for the high school.
Yeah, no. That's why I figured at the end of budget, this would be a great time for the high school. So that concludes my report at this point.
Great, thank you. And I think perhaps the week before or the week of those board meetings, if we can put out an additional SNN, just to remind, keep it current in people's minds. Thank you. The next item is Board of Education report. Does anyone, anything to?
Well, I have two things. One, I just want to reiterate a little bit about the buildings being in such great shape. Every year, I'm always amazed, anytime we've had, over the years, several bond issues and construction and then normal maintenance. And, you see the desks in the hallways. The new teacher orientation was in a back room here because this room was filled with equipment for technology, for our new system. And it always seems like a miracle, but everything's always ready for the first day of school. And I just, again, want to commend everyone who's involved with that, especially, the operations and maintenance department, custodians, et cetera, that do such a great job getting everything in shape, for our students. So I just think that they do a marvelous job doing that.
And this was the shortest summer for that, too.
Right. Next year will be the longest summer because
That's what I'm hoping.
the other thing is that we had on the Capital Region BOCES board a resignation due to someone's husband's illness, and they have to relocate out of the area. And so there's an opening on the BOCES board, and there will be an election. Now, because I serve on it, obviously nobody here can actually run for that seat, but it's just really just to let you know that, there's a process that the state requires you to go through to actually elect someone else. And we also have within our BOCES, I'm not sure other BOCES work the same way, kind of a gentleman's agreement, so we have representation from the 4 counties that are actually on the board. It's Albany and Schenectady, but then Schoharie, and then Saratoga also. So it was a Schenectady person who had to resign. So if, someone from that area comes forward, it probably would be, someone, to, in a sense, fill in that Schenectady role. It's not in law, not prescribed in law, but it's just kind of an agreement. I should say general person's agreement, not gentleman's agreement, that we do that so that every area is fairly represented. So the nominations have to be in by September 15th, which is 30 days prior to the vote, and then the election would take place in all the districts on October 15th, which coincidentally is our board meeting night, so we don't have to schedule a special meeting for that, which is great.
When will they get us the information on those people that are interested?
Well, the ballots will be mailed on October 1st, so I think that they usually send background information.
So we'll have it in time for the first meeting in October, so we can just mention it then, and then do a follow-up vote on the 15th then.
Right, assuming all the materials are
Yeah.
here. I'm not
Okay. That's
sure
what
how
we'll try
fast
to shoot
they'll be.
for, so.
Anybody else? I will say I've noticed the buses out running. I believe they're running their routes, and just want to thank the Transportation Department. I know that their first few days and weeks are always tricky, and I think all of our thoughts are with them as they start this semester and or the year, and wish them well and safe travels.
Yeah, especially, I think, September 5th, that they're going to be working on Kenwood Avenue. I mean, this has happened before. The timing on some things is not the best. That's the state, not the
Right,
town.
don't look at me.
Not the town.
Yeah, any help there? But no, I think they're trying to,
They're
during
doing
the
it
school day, do it outside of the school day, evenings, weekends.
Yeah, they're doing it at
To try to
night, I know
minimize
that.
the commute issue.
Yeah. So,
The next item of business is number 6, the recognition of visitors. I'm not sure if we have anyone, but I will read the statement just in case. It is the policy of the Board of Education to allow public comment during the visitors period of the meeting. It is not our policy to engage in public debate. Your comments and statements are heard and are greatly appreciated. If there is information we can provide for you after the meeting, feel free to contact the superintendent's office with your request, and we will do our best to get the information for your needs as soon as possible. Is there anyone who wants to come forward for a comment? Okay, we'll move right to item.
If I may, I'm sorry to interrupt. Just because we did receive an email, and I normally wouldn't do this because the person would have to bring it up, but they were asking about the ongoing tax bills that have just come out. If I can, because there was a slight issue in the transference of certain information, if I could ask Ms. Kehoe just to explain that it is being taken care of and addressed and followed up by the district.
Yeah. The tax bills, of course, were released on time, and a number of residents were surprised that they received a tax bill because the bills should have gone to their escrow company. There was an issue where there was a delay in the escrow information going to BOCES, so what they did was they released all of the bills so that they would go out to the broader community on time. But then They needed, obviously, to transmit the information over to the escrow company so that those would be paid. So it was kind of a simultaneous notification where the bills were sent to the escrow companies, even though the residents also received a bill. So we are following up with BOCES on that, and we will be doing supplemental notifications to the people who are affected by that. We've been responding to a lot of phone calls, just letting them know that indeed their bill is going to the escrow companies and that they will be paid as they expected, and that we are confirming for them that that has occurred and that the bills will be paid. We did put information on our webpage for that. We're reaching out to the Spotlight to put that information out for them too. So it did cause some confusion for residents, but we are addressing it and responding to it. Okay.
Thank you. Any questions from the board members? All right, thank you. We will move to item 7, finance. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the following finance action item A. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
That's a first and second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? That carries. Moving on to item 8. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the following instructional staff action items A through L. Is there a motion?
So moved.
First? Is that a second, Christine? Yes. Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? That carries. Let me just catch up, please. We are now at item 9. Thank you. Support personnel. It's recommended that the Board of Education approve the following support staff action items A through H. I believe there's, do I go for a motion first, or a motion, please?
So moved.
There's a first and a second. And discussion, please.
If we could, at the board's discretion, I'd like to pull item H, number 81, as it's a change of personnel status that's unneeded at this point.
Do we need to take any action for that amendment? No?
Just to amend first and second.
Okay, can we have it
Second.
first and second for the amend? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? No, that carries. We are now on
Well,
item,
no, now we
Now,
have to vote
any
for the whole thing.
discussion?
any discussion on the, everything from A to H? No? Okay.
Well, we already had a motion. Motion was
Thought we
second.
had a motion for the other.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
we first had a motion on,
Okay.
Okay, so we're good. All right.
we just have to vote on the whole thing,
Okay, we're voting on the whole thing now.
including the amended H.
Got it.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? That carries. Thank you for your patience. Item 10, correspondence for action. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the following correspondence actions, items A through C. Is there a motion?
So moved.
First?
Second.
Second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? That carries. Item 11, recognitions of visitors. This time is for visitors to address any item that is not on the agenda. Okay, not seeing anyone. We move on to future meetings and events. Wednesday, September 17th at 6 o'clock is a regular board meeting. 6 o'clock is the executive session. 7 o'clock is the public board meeting. Tuesday, September 23rd.
We just changed that.
And that was just moved to Wednesday, the 24th, for the audit committee.
For the audit
meeting.
committee, okay. So Wednesday, September 24th. At what time is that, please?
5:30.
Is 5:30 as the audit committee meeting. Wednesday, October 1st, 6 o'clock is the regular board meeting. Again, the public session starting at 7. And Wednesday, October 15th, regular board meeting, 6 o'clock executive session, 7 o'clock public meeting. There is no need to go into executive session, correct? So could I have a motion to adjourn? Up, just a moment, please.
Moved. We have to
Just a
adjourn?
minute. Yeah, just a minute. We're set? We're good?
Yes.
Okay.
The question was, did we finalize H? And we didn't want to break any rhythm, but yes, we did have a first and second and an approval vote, and then an approval vote on everything.
Thank you for checking. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
First?
Second.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? No? Thank you. Meeting is, okay, adjourn the meeting. You can text Matt. It was going pretty fast. I'm not sure I kept
We
that.
have to
Thank
have
you.
Charmaine do these more often.